Somebody asked me, what are the common mistakes that professionals should avoid in a workplace? And I think most of us relate to it because more than our home, we spend the maximum time at work. Even though with remote working, our appearance does make a huge difference. Here I would like to refer to a quote which says, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, you get paid good. So when we talk about our clothing in a workplace, it's really projecting a message that, that's why the term we have power dressing. It has that silent power. Power simply means executing an aura and saying that I want to make that mark or identity that I have arrived. So that makes a very big difference. So in professional, one of the biggest mistakes I think somebody can make is thinking that nobody's going to focus so much in my clothes and my dressing or my grooming, but my work is going to speak for me, my heart is going to speak for me. Guess what? That all sounds good. But first thing that gets noticed about you, whether it's your credibility, it's a trust, or even your level of self-respect, comes from how you conduct yourself and carry yourself. So one of the biggest mistakes that can happen in your dressing in professional attire could be ill-fitting clothes. We all have these yo-yos. Beginning of the year, we say, oh, we're going to shed some kgs, and then it might not happen. And we have bought that one shirt, one dress or skirt, and hoping we will fit into it. If not today, by next Monday. Guess what? That Monday is not going to come. So either throw that away, push it away. Invest in clothing which is of your proper body size as of today. Second is your footwear. We can't underestimate the power of our footwear. That's the first thing that gets noticed in your visual attire is your crown. That is your hair, how the grooming of your hair is, which is a part of your clothing dressing, and then your shoes, a well-kept shoes. So and invest into quality clothes. It's not about investing into expensive clothes or wearing brands, but whatever you are wearing, it should be wrinkle-free, it should be good rich fabric, even the buttons or the hems or the stitch. All these small things make a big difference. Going to the next question which we had and I think a lot of women will connect to this one, that I don't wear heels, but I still, want to look formal and authoritative. So what do I do in these occasions and in these roles? And I think this is wonderful question. I will relate this to athletes. You think of athletes, they wear footwear or shoes that gives them comfort, that enhances their performance. So when you are choosing your footwear, it should add to your grace and elegance when you're walking. Not that you are wobbling, not that after some time you're moving, and which I see most of the time women, pull out their shoes, whether they're a family event, social event, or even networking event. After a while or a work event, they'll remove their footwear. That's a complete no-no, it's a complete image breaker. So when you look for your footwear, even if you're not comfortable with the moves, you still want that, poise, that gait, that walk. You can look for sleek stilettos, lock heels which are not too much in height. Go for good quality ballerina, leather, satin, all-time classic kind of shoes. Good loafers. So these things make a big difference. And remember one thing, comfort is confidence, and confidence is always stylish. How could a college girl dress and what mistake they should avoid? Thank you, Yashu, for your question. I think in dressing, I'll tell you one thing. The simple rule of TOP. Time, occasion, purpose. What is the time? Time simply means according to the season. Dress as per the season. What is the occasion? Now, if you're in college, what is the role of a college? That it still has to be comfortable, but yet showing that you're serious. You respect the environment, because that's where you are setting your steps to bigger things in life for your career ladder. So just don't think that I'll just slip on everything and go attend a lecture. Guess what? They say when you go to exercise, also wear a better gear. You feel much good when you're looking at the mirror and exercising, and you will just do maybe a little bit more. If you have to stop in 5 minutes, you would have done it for 10 minutes. Or if you have to stop in 2 steps, you will do a third step. And lastly, P, the purpose. Ask yourself every time. I wonder how many of you ask this question to yourself, that what kind of message do I want to pass with my clothing? And trust me, Your clothing does 50% of this communication, speaking, a non-verbal communication. And then of course it's our body language and how we sound. Your words really are only 7% of the 93% of the first impression you make. So what message do you want to pass every time you show up? Because it is an investment in the brand here. What we do today, I think this one of the things which I had during COVID, a lot of sessions I did is virtual etiquette. A lot of teachers, faculty, even corporates, their business meetings. Even if you're doing an internal meeting with your team, okay, if your cameras are off, that's a different story. But if your cameras are on, there is a, way you present yourself, and your posture has a presence, and this presence walks into the room before you do. So when we talk about sitting etiquette, I think one thing I want to tell to all ladies, which I do in all my sessions as a brand, whether you're wearing a trouser or whether you're wearing a skirt or you're wearing a dress, when you sit, if you're not sitting cross-legged, if you're sitting with both your feet on the ground, your knees should be joined together. And a lot of times we will see that, that is something that gets missed. So next time when you're sitting, just pay attention to that. How are your knees? They should be together. For men, when you are sitting, it's about sitting in the chair like I'm sitting right now. It's not about going and slouching over there and, nobody wants to see your big backs. And talking about standing. In standing, one thing that I keep seeing a lot is that people find it so difficult to stand in one place, even for that 5 minutes of small talk when they are doing or exchange of opinion. They are either popping on this side or that side because we are so used to leaning. And this only comes from a background of saying that you need to work a little bit on your physical fitness. Now, this physical fitness is not about going and raising a dumbbell or something, but it simply means practicing that, and everything comes with the practice. And body language shapes everything, even the clothes that you're wearing. You could be wearing a perfect tie, shirt, but if your body language is slouchy or is gazing, or when you sit and your hands are always like that and you cannot sit and your hands are like that, imagine sitting like that all the time. It might be good to take one pose and picture like that, but not for the continuous time you're sitting over there. So if sportsmen dress for their game, which is their work, should be or work should be for us. Absolutely. But very good thing, so that when we see sports people, when they dress up for their game and you actually see them, they have a proper uniform and they are dressing up and there's the attire, because that's a message they're passing, and that's why it's all about branding. And the same goes to our work. In our work, we are setting up a message of our personal brand. What do we stand for? And there's a simple thumb rule. Always dress one position higher than the position you are at. Don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want or the position you want, because you already are there where you need to be. Look for it how you want to be seen. Clothing can be a big visual appearance, can be a big communication and a visiting card for us. I have a college interview coming up. What should I keep in mind for dressing and clothing? Fantastic question, and I would like to say, Shreya, in this case, you have to understand when they're calling you for an interview, they're not calling to check your aptitude. They're coming to check your attitude, because your aptitude is already determined, and that's why you called for that interview. They have their resume, they saw all the things, they have vetted everything, but now they want to see the person who has written all these qualities and all these credentials about themselves. When they walk into the room, do they match with it? So they want to match your aptitude with your attitude. So when you are looking for dressing up for an interview, absolute top level formality and formal dressing. That means more higher than maybe think of yourself as an executive of a company or your own brand ambassador, and dress that way. Impeccable, no negligence on anything, whether it comes from your trimming your nails, wearing a right nail paint, from your sideburns for the men, for grooming attire, everything. And grooming is not just on the physical level, your metaphysical grooming. That is your smile when you walk into there. How you sit, how you open the door, how you pull the chair, how you pull the chair back, how do you show. They want to see all those things. There should not be like anxiety, jittery, going fast. It should be composure. How can I present myself with confidence at meetings and networking events? This was asked by Neha from our questions which were put up before in our story. So Neha, coming to your question of meeting and networking events, I think this connects to everyone because we are networking everywhere. There is definitely professional networking, but there is also what we are always socially networking, also meeting people. So, and what happens a lot of time, we just feel that, oh, maybe what to say, I feel a little shy, I have to look into the room and find a familiar face and go stand next to them. And this is what I would say. Confidence is something that comes from preparedness, and preparedness means you need to practice. To practice, you need to dive into those situations. So when we talk about networking, I think of it as that 7-second rule. Then they say in 7 seconds you make our first impression. What is really happening in those 7 seconds? That 7 seconds is nothing but the people when you're watching you from far, the first 12 steps you take. Then you come a little closer to them, that first 12 inches, and then the first 12 words. It simply means the first 12 steps that you take in when you're coming in. How are you walking? Are you busy in your phone? Or are you looking around, giving an eye contact, having that smile? When you come closer to people, how is your body language? How is your grooming? How's the body odor? Even your breath? All these things get noticed. And later is going to be the first 12 words which you'll say, okay, hello, my name is Tarveen. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's so lovely to see all your fantastic friends here with me. So that comes much later. So when you have to present yourself in networking events, every opportunity you get where you are in between people, try and go and talk to different people. You will learn what to say in this first 12 words I'm talking about. Just like, most of them are awkwardness. We introduce ourselves, okay, my name is so-and-so and I do this, and then we don't know what to say after that. And build that confidence, you need to prepare yourself and practice. Look at yourself. Just you have a mirror in your house, just walk and see how do you look, or just video record yourself and see how are you looking and how are you appearing. What are some quick grooming tips, to look polished even on a busy day? So this question is asked by Ruben. I think this is really important. I always say that think of yourself as a celebrity. And to be a celebrity, you don't have to have a paparazzi around you, but you should always feel there's always a red carpet roll down, and you might get that sudden call from your boss, from your company, or some people that go join this event or go on live, put your video on, or suddenly I see that in my work field, suddenly I have a meeting, suddenly I get a call, and that might be the day I must have decided, okay, today, I just want to take it easy and go to work. Guess what? Sometimes things happen. And that's why you need to have like a backup kit. Now for women, that instant going from casual to formal, what can you simply do? You can just have a nice piece of accessory, a statement piece kept inside. It's a small kit. In your cubicle, in your office, wherever you have place, you can do this. A nice scarf or a stove or a good different footwear. And guess what? These small things can top it up and make you get ready for it. And for men, a nice belt or just a good cologne also when you're doing, or maybe if you have space and you can put in a nice pocket square or something, just on your regular blazer also, if you wear a pocket square and you go, guess what, you look great. So, and no matter how busy you are, like I mentioned earlier, your appearance, your visual appearance is your biggest resume. It speaks for you more than your trophies, awards, or qualification. When you meet someone, they say, don't judge a book by its cover. But let's be true. We live in a world where we make snap judgments and immediately we will decide yay or nay, just looking at the person. No matter how talented you could be, how many awards and trophies you have, or a golden heart you have, it becomes secondary, especially when you're looking into making new relationships. And that's why the word impression itself has the word impress in it. So you need to always have an impressive personality, which I said is inside out. You can't just groom yourself from outside. You need to have that metaphysical grooming, that is your attitude. Match your attitude and it will determine your altitude. And that's the tagline we use at Personify. What is the biggest difference between dressing for an interview or dressing for daily office wear? Very brilliant question, Divya. What is it about dressing? And I think I just said before that when you dress up for an interview, it's basically, you can say it is an audition for your personality trait. It's that showing yourself for the first time whether you are ready or selected for this role or not. So you need to do more than just putting your best foot forward. It has to be truly the best, but the authentic version of yourself. And dressing at work every day is projecting that consistency. it's like that relationship. You can't just, fake it in the beginning and have this. You have to maintain that. You have to be consistent. And that's when you build a personal brand. And that personal brand is what makes you authority of your field. Because what I am doing, what you are doing, many other people are doing. It can be replaced by anyone at any time. But how you do it and how much consistency you bring to it is a key difference to it. So there is always a difference when you're showing up for an interview or when you're dressing up for daily for work. The last question is from Nilima. She's asking that, about accessories. How can it enhance or spoil a professional look? I think this is something that you need to understand the difference between, underdressing and overdressing. Yes, we always say when you are in doubt, you've heard that quote, always overdress and underdress. But that also means that don't become so jarring that when people meet you, they're distracted by what you are wearing and what all you have done to yourself rather than listening to you and to understand your personality. Accessory simply means it's something to accessorize your persona. So when you are doing, I will give you a simple rule over here. Rule of 5. For women, thumb rule of 5 for accessories. Your piece of earrings becomes 2. The ring that you are wearing, the watch you have, this is something what you talk about your accessories, or maybe your, some wedding ornament or something you are wearing, it's good. For men, a nice watch, or maybe just sometimes they wear a bracelet, a belt is absolutely more than enough, or a tie or something, it includes. But you do not need to do all in the same day. It's again should be giving that power to your presence.